Hey everybody, welcome back to the Sunnydale Review. I'm Brian.
I'm Jillian.
Jillian, more Angel on
Yes.
this one. I actually quite like the first episode, so I'm excited. How are you feeling about this?
I am very excited to talk about episode 8 when we get there.
All right. Let's get into it. Where are we starting off?
We are starting off at the Bachelor Party. Season 1, episode 7, originally aired November 16th, 1999. Written by Tracy Stern and directed by David Stratton? I don't know how to say his name. His first name is David, I know that. So, Brian, I know that you're a bit of a bigger Doyle fan than I am.
Yes, yeah,
So-
I like Doyle quite a bit. So this is a very Doyle-centric episode. We get a lot of character development for him.
Yeah. So let's see. Episode opens with Angel trying to spend a quiet evening alone in the office reading a book. Doyle is trying to convince him to go out to a sports bar. I think less because he's lonely and more that he doesn't want to be around when Cordy's wealthy date comes to pick her up.
Right. Also, Angel at a sports bar is a very hilarious image to me. I just can't see it.
All I can think of is like him sitting in the corner looking uncomfortable and like sipping on a water.
Yeah, right. Spike, I can definitely see at a sports bar, like rooting for a soccer match. He would be all about it. Nah, not Angel. Usually Spike seems to actually eat food where Angel doesn't. So I don't know if that's just I don't know if that's just a personal choice or what.
Yeah, Angel doesn't really snack or try to fit in with the humans.
Yeah, he's just gonna keep it tight, He's gonna keep it for the shirtless scenes. Oh man.
But Cordy's date picks her up from the office, and Doyle and Angel delay them leaving by throwing some semi-parental grilling questions at her date, which is really funny.
Yeah, it's great.
Doyle finds Buffy's picture in a book Angel was reading, probably to introduce what she looks like for later in this episode. Doyle gets a vision of a guy getting attacked by a nest of vampires downtown, and the guys take off.
Yeah. Also, no. Never mind. Let's keep going. I was going to pretty much just say exactly what you said. And I was like, no, that's stupid. Jill just said that. Oh, man.
Cordy is painfully bored by her wealthy date, who won't stop talking about stock trading.
Mm-hmm.
The guys head out and rescue the guy from Doyle's vision. After saving him, Angel comments on how Doyle refuses to fight in his demon form, even though he's stronger in that form. Angel takes the vampire victim home, which I don't understand why, because he's like all bloody and close to death. I don't know why Angel would put himself in a situation where he literally has a bleeding victim like right next to him, because we know like how he's still struggling with his bloodlust. It's like, why would he not have Doyle take the guy home? But yeah. So, I mean, we know why from a plot perspective, but so Angel takes the vampire victim home while Doyle heads back to the office. Cordy fakes feeling sick and gets her date to drop her back at the office early. While trying to be a gentleman and walk her to the door, a vampire attacks and her date flees, leaving Cordy to die.
Yeah, that's not great.
He literally like basically throws Cordelia at the vampire, runs, jumps in his car, like books it in reverse and just takes off. It's like,
oh man. So
chivalry is dead.
Yeah. Things are just definitely not going to work out for them from there.
Yeah. Cordy is able to fight the vampire off long enough for Doyle to grab a weapon. Doyle ends up slaying the vampire, and Cordy takes notice of his bravery.
Yeah. So score one for Doyle, right?
Yeah. Sure. This is the part that I like. There is an adorable scene with Cordy and Angel where Cordy kind of fills Angel in about her date, the attack, and how Doyle saved her. Angel seems largely uninterested until Cordy starts to kind of out loud consider that there might be more to Doyle than she thought, and she might kind of like him and give him a chance, or at least buy him a coffee. the smile on Angel's face is adorable. Like, before, he was just kind of barely paying attention, but then she starts actually talking about this, and he's just like, I'm pretty sure he's like resting his elbows on his desk and just kind of like has his hands, and he's just like watching this as she's having this conversation out loud and smiling. It's really adorable. I love it.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a lot of character growth for her because she's very materialistic otherwise in her dates, and this is some good growth for Cordelia. So Angel's like, all right, cool.
I think it's funny how Angel, in a way, over the next like couple of episodes, kind of becomes Cordelia's best girlfriend.
Yeah, no, that's very true.
Like, he asks her questions that I don't think a guy would typically ask a girl. And I don't know if it's literally because there are just no other girls around and the writers wanted these questions to be asked.
Right.
But he does it in such like a sweet way where he just, you can tell that he just genuinely cares about Cordelia. And I love it. I just love it.
Right.
But let's see. So Cordy goes to Doyle, who is inflating his ego by reenacting his saving Cordy to himself. And she's working up, asking him out for a coffee, when Doyle's wife Harry shows up.
Yeah.
To which everyone's like, what? Just what?
Yeah. Well, it's weird that you never mentioned this, Doyle.
Yeah. For all the hitting on Cordy that he's done, he never mentioned that he had a wife. Yeah, so it turns out they've been separated for a long time. Harry is now engaged and trying to get married to someone else, but needs Doyle to sign the divorce papers. Which I kind of get the impression that this is not the first time he's seen divorce papers from her. This is just the first time that maybe she's delivered them face to face, or yeah. I think they might have just kind of like, it sounds like she's been like traveling the world. It's probably just like a out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
But yeah, so let's see. Doyle and Angel have a drink in Angel's apartment. Doyle talks about his lost love, and Angel relates. We find out Harry was the one to walk away from Doyle. He thinks it's because of his demon half, which didn't show up until after they were married. So they must have been, because he says that his demon half didn't show up until he was 21. And that's even when he found out that he was half demon. He had no idea before because it was his father, and his father was never around.
Yep.
So they must have gotten married very young.
Yeah, like right out of high school or
something like that.
Yeah.
I want to know, like, because Doyle is very clearly Irish, right? So, like, at what point did he even come to the U.S.? Because Cordy even asked, so, like, when Harry's there, Cordy's like, so was it, like, a green card thing? and Harry's like, no, it was a madly in love thing. It's like, but see, that's, like, the kind of background that I would love to have on Doyle. It's like, clearly he's not from around here, so when did he get here? Like, what's his history? And we're kind of starting to get that, but I mean, we're 7 episodes in and just really finding out about the guy. So
right, yeah. I mean, maybe before high school, because he had to be there long enough to have the accent like fully ingrained, in him. So yeah, maybe something they were gonna plan to reveal.
Maybe. So let's see. Doyle asks Angel to check in on Richard, the new guy Harry's going to marry. Which I think her name's probably like Harriet, but they just call her Harry for short.
Yeah.
There's a great scene of Angel stalking Richard from a rooftop of a building where Richard walks down like the street below. To your point before, they really wanted Angel to be Batman.
Yeah. That was definitely the pitch. It's like,
oh yeah,
he's a superhero, because even in this season they refer to him as a superhero.
They refer to him as a warrior.
Well, in one of the episodes coming up.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But let's see. Angel tracks Richard to a steakhouse where he sees Richard in demon face approaching Harry with a knife. Angel breaks in to save Harry, only to find out that Richard was not trying to hurt her, and Harry already knew about that Richard was a demon and is fine with it. Turns out Harry is a scientist slash researcher who studies demons. And Richard is part of a clan of demons who is friendly to humans. Also turns out Harry didn't leave Doyle because of his demon half.
Yeah. So that's even worse.
Yeah.
Like you initially are like, probably too much to handle for her. It's a big thing. Maybe she didn't even know demons were real. All that. But no. Yeah.
I think gambling. Doyle had convinced himself that Harry left him because of his demon half, and it's definitely when there's like a breakup of some kind, it's definitely easier to blame something that you have no control over.
Right, yeah.
It's like, oh, she just didn't like this part of me, but it's something that I can't change. And Doyle realizes that she didn't break up with me because of my demon half. Like, she broke up with me because of me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's a tough thing to look at yourself in the mirror and understand stuff like that.
Yeah. So Doyle signs the divorce papers. Richard invites Doyle to his bachelor party. Harry invites Cordy to her bachelorette party. We see Richard at a family dinner. He's complaining about not wanting to have wings at his bachelor party, wanting something a little bit fancier to eat, as his family is literally sitting down with a giant bucket of KFC chicken.
I mean, hey, maybe that's like we eat KFC every night. Just one night. Don't want chicken wings. Oh, chicken wings are delicious, so can't relate, Richard.
Well, it's like they own a steakhouse.
Yeah, true.
Seems to have many different kinds of delicacies.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where he needs to have weird back alley transactions to get ingredients for stuff. But like he's like, I really want something fancier, something a little bit more or whatever. I don't remember what he calls it, but like it's like, do we have to have wings as they're sitting down with a giant bucket of KFC? I'm like, I don't understand. Was this product placement? I don't understand.
Could have been.
But yeah, so yeah, they very quickly mention that part of the bachelor party itinerary is to have a ritual eating of the first husband's brain. This does not bode well for Doyle.
No.
Doyle arrives at the bachelor party. He brought Angel along, which throws a wrench into the plans to sacrifice Doyle. We see Cordelia at the bachelorette party getting some exposition on Doyle's life from when he was with Harry. Turns out he was a third grade teacher who liked to volunteer at food banks. So, like, here's my question, okay? So, looking at the timeline of events, we have them getting married clearly before he was 21.
Mm-hmm.
They met when they were both volunteering at the food bank.
Right.
He was already a third grade teacher.
Mm-hmm.
How was he a 19 or 20-year-old third grade teacher?
There's no answer to that. It doesn't make sense.
I'm like, timeline doesn't line up here.
No.
Okay, as long as we acknowledge that the timeline doesn't line up and I'm confused.
Yeah, he definitely, I guess it's definitely trying to imply that, like, he was a nice, normal dude, found out this life-altering thing, and then couldn't really deal with it well, and that's kind of where his life kind of spiraled out of control for him.
Yeah. So let's see. Back at the bachelor party, Angel witnesses the ritual begin. Richard's family uses the opportunity, with Angel being separated from Doyle, to pick a fight with him and eject him from the party by throwing him out a window. It's like, okay. With Angel out of the way, Richard talks to Doyle, gets him to give Richard his blessing to marry Harry. Turns out this is consent to have his brain eaten. Which, no.
Which really should be explained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rest of the party's attendees then lock Doyle in a box with just his head sticking out. The gang then prepares to cut open his head. Let's see. Angel breaks down the door.
Which is a great shot, which they used for the intro. It's so badass.
They used that for the intro, I'm pretty sure, all the way up to the scene. Like, the series finale. It's a great shot. So Angel breaks down the door and then takes on about 6 of the bachelor party attendees at once. Doyle gets let out of his decapitation box, throws on his demon form, and starts kicking some demon ass.
Mm-hmm.
Harry and Cordy show up, having realized that part of the bachelor party was to eat the first husband's brain. So they try to save Doyle, basically.
Right.
So yeah, there was a minor kind of B plot going on when Angel realized kind of there was something shady going on. He calls Cordelia and is like, I need to talk to Harry, because he knows that Harry is like a demon expert. And he's like, I just heard these like really weird words. And so he like says them back to Harry, and Harry and Cordy just like kind of go off into the corner at Harry's bachelorette party that no one seems to think it's odd that Harry is not the center of attention of, as all the other ladies are just kind of sitting around drinking tea. They start to research. They are like, I think they go to like his great aunt or something, and they're like, hey, so is there anything weird going on at the bachelor party that we should know about? And the great aunt is like, well, they're certainly not going to eat Doyle's brain. Like, yeah, okay. So then Harry and Corey,
like, it's just such a specific thing to say that they're not going to do. That makes me feel like that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Plausible deniability kind of goes up the window there. But yeah, so that's how they kind of show up at the bachelor party. So they show up to save Doyle. Cordy gets taken off guard seeing Doyle in demon form and not realizing it's him, so she starts beating him with a tray. Angel stops her, and through some sort of shenanigans of her being distracted for a second, Doyle's able to put back on like his human face and does not, like, Cordy doesn't put it together that like, hey, that demon guy that I was just beating up 2 seconds ago who's right behind me, oh, now Doyle's there. Okay, cool.
Yeah. But she's just like, yeah, Doyle's not a demon. In her mind, she's just like, not a thing. Also, weird. The concept of half demon, not really much of a thing. Yeah.
Weird. The demon I was just fighting with the tray was wearing the same exact jacket.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Richard essentially tries to pressure Harry into allowing him to eat Doyle's brains, saying his family will never accept the marriage unless they complete the ritual. Harry hands him back her engagement ring, walks out. Good on you, Harry. Episode ends with Cordelia trying to cheer up Doyle, telling him that she thinks he's a nice guy. Then Doyle gets a vision of Buffy in trouble, which can be seen over in the Buffy episode Pangs.
Yeah, so I think this is a great way to introduce the crossover, because it, introduces Buffy, like you said, with the picture, so Angel viewers know Angel's able to commiserate, with his heartbreak, with Doyle's heartbreak, and then you go over to the next episode with Buffy, which you can see our review of. Well, you just search the channel, search review for Pangs, and we like it and admit that there's some outdated aspects to it, but
it's not politically correct. But if you ignore everything that's not politically correct, it's still kind of a fun time.
Great Spike episode.
Yes.
So definitely go check that out. And what did you give this episode of Angel?
I'll give this one a 7.
All right, pretty good.
It's not like fantastic to me, but I mean it's okay.
Yeah,
I don't hate it.
And Watch Your Pass?
Pass.
Pass on it.
It doesn't hold a lot of like, except for like the last 15 seconds that sparks Pangs, which requires you to go over to an entirely different series.
Right.
I don't feel like it holds a lot of long-lasting plot. It doesn't have really ripple effects. But yeah.
I give it an 8 just because, I don't know, I just like this episode. I like Doyle. I like the shot of him in the contraption for his head just being helpless to do anything. I think that's a lot of fun, and like we said, one of the most badass Angel moments where he just shatters the set and, like, falls apart behind him, and it just looked really cool.
I want to know if that was planned.
Right,
like,
yeah.
It was planned for him to kick open the doors. Was it planned for the entire frame of the door to come off?
Yeah, I mean, probably not, honestly, but it looked really cool, so
Yeah,
it worked out. All right, next episode.
Yay, now we get to move on to like, literally, this is my favorite episode of season 1. That's just it. I'm just gonna.
It's a tearjerker. It's
Yeah.
It's such an interesting concept too. Like,
I know.
Damn.
Oh, okay. So this is season 1, episode 8. I Will Remember You, which I have actually a very special shout out to give to my friend Ken. I'll talk about that more at the end of the episode. But yes, thank you, Ken. I'm just gonna say it right now. So I Will Remember You, season 1, episode 8, originally aired November 23rd, 1999, written by David Greenwalt and Janine Renshaw, and directed by David Grossman.
Yeah. Janine, don't really know you're not familiar, but yeah, give her a hand. This is a good episode.
Okay, so my notes for this episode literally start with this episode. This one right here is the best episode of season 1 of Angel. It's one of a grand total of 5 episodes that I consider unskippable in season 5. Awesome. I'm not sure what fans of Angel who have never seen Buffy will think. Actually, I have talked to my friend Ken since then. So again, end of the episode, we'll talk about that.
I did like homework to get the full picture of this experience.
But as someone who has seen Buffy, this episode is literally a palate cleanser for some of the stumbling blocks of season 1 so far. So fresh off the heels of Pangs, Angel has returned to Los Angeles. We see him resetting a clock in his office. He's acting a little OCD, organizing his desk just so, and checking to see if his desk is level. Cordy and Doyle are observing him from the window, talking a little too loudly about him, considering Angel has vamp hearing, and he can probably hear every word. They're watching for signs of depression and leap into action as soon as Angel grabs a stake and rush in to stop him, only to find out he's going to use it to prop up his desk so it's level.
Yeah, so in Universe, Angel has just come back from Sunnydale. Mm-hmm. He didn't want to interact with Buffy, but he lurked in the shadows and interacted with everyone else who thought he was evil again, which was so fun.
I'm not evil.
Yeah, so he's sad because he had to see his ex, and he didn't want that. He moved because he couldn't handle being around Buffy anymore.
Okay, so Angel tells Cordy and Doyle that he was in Sunnydale for 3 days but didn't interact with Buffy, and she didn't even know he was there. Then Buffy shows up at the door, finishing Cordelia's sentence about how she'd be a little upset if her ex was in town, stalking her from the shadows for 3 days, and then left without saying hello or goodbye.
Yeah, so again, at the end of last episode, they let it slip. Who was it? Was it Willow?
No, Xander.
Xander lets it slip that, it felt like old times, with Angel being here and everything. And then one of my favorite shots in Buffy of them all just like looking at her from her POV for how she's going to react to that.
Which we never get to see her reaction because it's
right.
Shot, so
I imagine she immediately stood up without saying anything and headed to LA.
Oh, probably.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Buffy says she's in town visiting her father. A likely story, as this is literally the day after the big fight at the end of Pangs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She's upset that she's upset with Angel that he made a big decision to come into town and didn't bother telling her that he was there. She sees it as a betrayal and a decision that Angel made about her without her. So, not great, Angel.
Yeah, especially where Angel just dipped at the end of last season. Like,
well, he was also he was stealthy, but not really, because literally, Giles knew he was there. Giles knew he was there. Xander knew he was there. Willow knew he was there. Spike knew he was there. Anya knew he was there. It's like literally everyone except Buffy.
And I love it too, because in the episode, he's fighting like 10 feet away from where Buffy is.
Yeah.
Like he's helping them, but just not close enough for her to see.
So let's see. Angel apologizes for the decision that he made. Buffy tells him that when he's around, even if she can't see him, she still feels him there, and it throws her off her game. The two decide to keep their distance in the hope that once enough time has passed, they'll forget what they meant to each other and not be affected by being around each other anymore. Buffy's about to head out the door when a demon crashes through the windows.
Right.
So the two of them fight the demon, but after getting injured, the demon escapes, and Buffy and Angel head into the sewers after it. Buffy and Angel continue their kind of squabble.
Bickering as they're hunting.
They're Bangel speak. It's Bangel speak. Come on now. Buffy wants to kill the demon as quickly as possible so she can leave town. Angel says that she doesn't have to stick around, but Buffy says that Angel saved her, so she'd like to return the favor. Angel's like, are we keeping score now? I mean, yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
A little bit. Angel finds the demon's blood on the sewer wall and touches it, afterwards mentioning that he feels funny after doing so. The gang split up, Buffy heading to the street level into the daylight in case the demon went that way. Angel stays down in the sewer, gets attacked by the demon, and in the process gets some of the demon's blood absorbed into his own bloodstream. This turns Angel human again.
This is great. This is wonderful.
Like, what?
Literally everything Buffy and Angel ever could ask for.
Yep.
You know, all he had to do was find this. Also for any vampire, right? Like, you feel like if I were a vampire, I would want to probably be human again. I enjoy going out in the sun. But then do you come back as a human without a soul? That's bad.
Yeah, I mean, Angel already had his soul, so we actually don't know what the effect would be of a vampire becoming human who did not have their soul. Yeah. Like, would their soul be restored, or would they somehow be a soulless human? I would argue that I don't think Spike would want to be human again.
Yeah.
I think he enjoys being exactly who he is.
Yeah, I mean, there's good and bad, of course. Super strength, great. Immortality, also great. But being evil, less great. Having to murder to stay alive, you know?
Well, I mean,
but you don't care at that point, right?
Yeah, there are some vampires in this series that I feel just like revel in it. Mm-hmm. And I mean, we've seen what. No, wait, have we seen that? At some point, we will see what Spike was before.
Yeah.
When he was human, and I don't think he'd want to return to that. Plus, no. I mean, Spike likes to smoke, and as a vampire, he doesn't have to worry about lung cancer.
I know, it's great. He looks so cool while smoking, and he doesn't have to worry about it.
Can we say official stance of the Sunnydale Review podcast? Smoking is not cool.
Yeah, it's not cool. You look cool. There's no doubt. It's not even an argument. You do look cooler, but it's not good to have lung cancer, especially not now with coronavirus. Having bad lungs would be very bad for this. So,
don't smoke, kids.
Don't do it. Stay in school.
There are other ways.
If your school's over Hellmouth, maybe transfer somewhere else. But other than that,
there are other ways to look cool. Just get a leather jacket.
Right. Yeah.
It won't give you lung cancer.
Just get a leather jacket and be incredibly handsome. Just like the vampires in the show.
So let's see. Cordy and Doyle return to the office to find the broken window.
I love this scene so much.
They initially think that, what was it? Cordy thinks that Angel got dusted, but turns out that she had just swept a bunch of dust under the carpet.
Yeah.
She's like, oh my god. Oh, wait, I just forgot to sweep there.
Like, oh my god, Buffy killed him.
Angel walks in from the street, and Cordy thinks that he finally invested in an umbrella so that he can walk out in the sun, but Doyle can somehow tell that Angel's alive. Angel gets overwhelmed by all of his human senses, finally getting to taste real food for the first time in hundreds of years. He wants cookie dough fudge mint chip ice cream.
Like, I'm so hungry. And he like runs to the fridge and Corey's like, oh my God.
It's like, oh, he's going after the food.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess he says that like food is really dulled when you're a vampire, like the taste and stuff. So like I guess that's an explanation as to why he doesn't partake. Spike, he's fine. He's cool with it.
It's got to be like a vampire taste buds are more attuned to blood than to human food. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
So like what the show probably the show too, but the movie What We Do in the Shadows, like one of them eats fries and then pukes like blood up because they can't eat human food. It's just a pretty hilarious scene.
Oh my god, that movie's so good. Taika Waititi is a genius.
Yes. Oh man. All right. Anyways, where were we on this?
Angel sends Cordelia to find Buffy in Santa Monica. Meanwhile, he and Doyle track down the demon. Turns out he was attacked by a Moira demon, who are assassins sent to take out people who fight against the forces of evil, like Angel and Buffy. Their veins run with the blood of eternity, which has restorative properties, which explains what happened to Angel.
This is also this blood of eternity. It's cool. Cool name.
Yeah. Angel is concerned about what this might mean. He and Doyle thought the only way Angel could be restored is if the powers that be restored him. He wants to speak to the powers that be, but Doyle says that you have to approach them through channels. You can't go straight to the source. Angel tells Doyle to set up a meeting with one of those channels, so the two of them head to the oracles.
Which I love the oracles. They're so like quirky.
See, the oracles at least are interesting. Like, I'm sorry, the oracles get a grand total of probably 10 minutes of screen time in this episode. I already find them more interesting than Kate.
Well, it's just like, I don't know, there's just something about them, like the way they talk and like they're like ancient Greek gods almost, you know? It's
yeah. So let's see. Angel meets with the oracles, who confirm that his turning human was not due to the powers that be granting him immortal life back, but if he fought the Moira demon, won, and was restored in the process, it was meant to be. They also say that he's no longer a warrior. So they're like, yeah, when you were a vampire, you were like a warrior of good for us. Now that you're human, here's your release papers.
Yeah.
Have a nice
life.
It's
like an NFL team cuts a quarterback. You just don't have it anymore. I'm sorry.
Let's see. After meeting with the oracles, Angel speaks to Doyle. Angel turning human is real. It's not due to a spell or a trick. Doyle says Angel now has his whole life out in front of him to do with what he wants. Doyle asks Angel what he wants, and we cut over to Angel joining Buffy on a sunny pier in Santa Monica. She can feel him coming and turns before he even steps out into the sunlight. He approaches her and they kiss, their old theme music swelling.
I love, like, Doyle's obviously just a true friend. Like, he's so excited for Angel. He's like, this is amazing. Like, this is great. You can be human and have a life. Like, wow.
It's like he's like his best friend, like trying to hype him up, and Angel's all like, I don't know. Like, what if this isn't real? What if it's a trick? Maybe we should go talk to somebody because I don't know if this is real, and we want to make sure that it sticks before we go and do anything. And it's like, oh my god.
Man.
I love that Angel told Cordy to go find Cordelia in Santa Monica, but then like no instructions after that. It's like, just find her and then bring her back to the office. No. Okay, call you? No. Okay, what? Let's see. So, we cut to Doyle and Cordelia sitting in the office. They talk about how Buffy and Angel have been down in the apartment for 2.5 hours. Cordelia is concerned that if they get intimate, Angel might lose his soul again. Doyle points out that Angel's not cursed anymore, so it shouldn't be an issue. Cordelia suggests Angel and Buffy are probably going at it already. Cut to Buffy and Angel sitting around the kitchen table drinking tea in awkward silence.
Right. I mean, yeah, we'll see. We'll get to the rest of the scene.
Buffy and Angel talk about their relationship. Clearly, both of them want to jump back into each other's arms, literally and figuratively. but have spent so long fighting it now that they've basically been granted permission. They're both hesitant to jump back in, worrying that Angel's humanness won't hold, or that them being together will negatively impact Buffy's life and her ability to be the Slayer. And they're basically like talking to each other and talking about all the reasons they shouldn't jump back into this. But yeah, ultimately they finally inevitably give in to what they've both been wanting and resisting, and start making out all over Angel's kitchen. Cut to their post-sex scene with Angel naked in his kitchen, getting tons of food out of the fridge and delivering it to Buffy, who is in bed and wearing his shirt. They're coupley and romantic, and it's adorable and perfect. And Buffy's like, "You've been human for a day, and already there's cookie dough fudge mint chip in the fridge."
He really wanted this. Oh my
yeah.
God, I went so blurry there.
You did.
Oh yeah, I'm back.
Cut to Cordelia and Doyle at the bar. Cordy is upset that she's out of the job now that Angel is human and not a warrior anymore. Doyle says that he's sad that he's also lost his job, but he's happy for Angel. Doyle says that he's just glad he's not going to have awful visions anymore. Then immediately has a vision of a Moira demon.
Can't. Angel's not cursed anymore, I guess, Doyle. Doyle still has the issues.
Let's see. Doyle rushes to tell Angel that the Moira demon regenerated itself in addition to regenerating Angel. Angel goes off to fight it, immediately getting his ass handed to him since he is not a strong vampire anymore. The Moira demon tells him that the end of days is coming. Buffy shows up, killing the Moira demon and saving Angel.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Angel's in good shape, like, but he's not like super jacked, muscular, like guy. He doesn't have any guns. It's not gonna work, this fighting as a human.
I mean, being a vampire definitely gives you that extra supernatural strength, increased reflexes, all that stuff, which he no longer has, so he just gets his ass handed to him.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's really bad. So let's see. Angel returns to see the oracles, wanting to know if what the Moira demon was saying was true about the end of days coming, more demons being on their way, and what happens to the Slayer when it all gets here. The oracles say that Buffy will die. Angel offers to trade his mortal life to save Buffy's in the war to come. The oracles agree to turn back the clock 24 hours to before Angel was turned human, so Angel can change the sequence of events, not become human, and the powers that be can keep Angel as a warrior for their cause. Angel is allowed to keep the memories of the last 24 hours in order to change the course of events, but they will be wiped from everyone else's memory, including Buffy's.
Very sad.
Devastating. I hate this.
But this is what makes Angel a hero, right? We've talked about it before, like the selfless act of giving up everything he's wanted in the, pursuit of saving the world, You gotta always have a moment where your heroes make that big sacrifice.
Yeah. But in a way, like, this episode is such a tease. Like, here's everything that all the Buffy fans who were fans of Buffy and Angel together, like, wanted, and then they take it away. Yep. Yeah, it's not great. Angel returns to his apartment to find Buffy waiting. He fills her in on his meeting with the oracles and his deal to trade the last 24 hours of perfect love and happiness with Buffy in order to keep them both safe. Buffy says that she understands his decision, but still breaks down, devastated, losing the love that she's always wanted, and finally got a taste of. As the clock ticks down to the last seconds, Buffy repeats, "I'll never forget, I'll never forget." This is completely heartbreaking.
Yeah, Sarah Michelle Gellar is fucking awesome in this scene.
Oh my god. It's just like, I think even without like the music swelling and all this stuff, like it's just, these actors have had such a long time, because they had the 3 seasons of them together on Buffy, to create this just incredible chemistry between each other, not just between these characters, but between the 2 actors, and how well they know each other and how well they can play off of each other. So it's This is why I say that this episode is really like a palate cleanser, because it's like you get all of these elements together that just work.
Mm-hmm.
And you get like the Bangel speak, and you get scenes like this where it's just that unbelievable chemistry, the two of them together.
Right.
So yeah. There's a flash of light, and we're transported back in time to the beginning of the episode, just before the Moira demon attacked the first time. The Moira demon crashed through the window, and Angel kills him by breaking the jewel in his forehead almost immediately. Buffy says her final goodbye to Angel and heads out. End of episode.
Does he like throw the clock at him?
He does. He uses the clock to smash the gem that was in the middle of the Moira demon's forehead, which is like their power center. So then he kills him.
Pretty great.
So, a couple things before we wrap this up. Fun fact, in the scene where Buffy's breaking down as the clock ticks down before the time loop happens, apparently Sarah Michelle Gellar's performance of Buffy breaking down was so convincing that David Boreanaz starts comforting Sarah instead of comforting Buffy. If you listen really closely, you can hear him saying, "Please, Sarah, please."
Damn, she's so good in that scene. And
yeah.
I get even tricked him. That's great.
And then, so what I was trying to figure out at the end of this episode was, I was like, if you are somebody who has never seen Buffy,
mm-hmm.
if you've only ever seen Angel, you've only known Angel for like 7 episodes at the beginning of this episode, because this is episode 8. I'm like, does this episode hold any impact for someone who has never seen Buffy? Mm-hmm. Because you don't have the 3 seasons of history for these characters. You get the little bits and pieces of exposition that have been sprinkled in. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, I wonder if for somebody who has never seen Buffy, does this episode hold any impact, or is it literally just like a throwaway episode that's really like a standalone, doesn't have a lot of long-running ripples for the rest of the plot of this season or this series? Mm. Like, does it just seem like an episode mainly based around someone that you don't know?
Right.
So I reached out to my friend Ken, the same one that we had referenced. Yes, shout out to Ken. I reached out to him because I know that he loves Angel, but has never seen Buffy. He's the one that I've been fighting with for the last 8 years, trying to get him to watch Buffy.
Ken, watch Buffy. You'll like it. I promise you'll like it.
It was very helpful to get the perspective of somebody who has never seen Buffy, but now that he and I have already had this conversation, Ken, you have all the permission in the world to go watch Buffy. But so I asked him, I'm like, in watching that episode, did you feel the impact? And he was like, yes. Okay. He said that he was able to gather enough information through the exposition and stuff that to basically understand that Buffy and Angel had kind of this epic love, and the breakup was not necessarily something that either of them wanted, but something that had to happen. So he did get that impact. It's not just like a throwaway episode.
Right.
Which I gotta hand it. Yeah, I gotta hand it to the writers to be able to do that for somebody who had never seen Buffy to be able to still have this episode hold weight where it really is kind of a standalone episode. But yeah, so thank you, Ken.
Thank you, Ken.
Go watch Buffy.
Please do. So then you can listen to the rest of our episodes, provided you're liking these. And that goes for anyone who's watching this who has not watched Buffy. If you like Angel, you will like Buffy. Like, you know?
Yeah.
There's 3 more seasons of Angel, if that helps, on Buffy. So think about it that way.
Plus, there's so much more Spike, and if you like Spike,
much more Spike. Yeah.
I'm sorry, this is going to be spoiler. If you like Spike in season 5 of Angel, you get so many more seasons of him on Buffy, like.
And a really great arc of Spike in Buffy. Yes. So. Oh man. So Jill, I feel like I don't even have to ask, but watch or pass on this episode?
This is a watch for sure. I give this a 10. I love this episode. This is one that, like, if I need a cry, this is one of those episodes of choice. But yeah,
man. I gave it a 9. I mean, it's amazing. It's wow. so much led up to this episode.
Yep.
This, like, Pangs felt like it's a crossover, but it's like, this is kind of unnecessary. But to set up this, it's like, okay, in retrospect, like, this is worth it all, you know?
This makes up for them being super politically incorrect.
I won't go that far, but it's certainly really good. Oh, man. All right, Jill. Anything you want to mention before we get on out of here?
If you love this episode as much as I do, please hit me up on Twitter. I'm at Jillian_Swan, and that's Swan with 2 N's. And if you don't like this episode, then you can just keep that to yourself, actually.
We don't want to hear it. You can follow me on Twitter at @theFakeBMar, this BMARR. You can follow the channel on Twitter at WGEverything, on Instagram at WickedGoodEverything, on Twitch at twitch.tv/WickedGoodEverything, and maybe TikTok, maybe not. We'll see. It's hard because
this comes out in 2 weeks. It may be dead by then.
Yeah, it's hard to say, you know, what's going to still exist, but until then, this will stay. You know,
yes,
I'm confident in saying that. But TikTok, I don't know. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for listening. The Sunnydale Review is a Wicked Good Everything production. Fan art of Buffy was created by Fishbone Art. The logo was created by Tamar Kutab. The original intro and outro song was created by Alex Carl.